Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. As you can see, we got the two firearms on the table. On top is the Mossberg 590 Shockwave. On the bottom, the Remington 870 TAC 14. That one's in 12 gauge. The Mossberg is in 20 gauge. Now before I start the video, special thanks to my friend Stevie Cohen. Gave me a bit of a merry birthday gift. He's always been the bigger knife guy between the two of us, so flip that tab open and hit it again. Nice little knife. Ooh, nice and sharp too. So thank you, Stevie. You're awesome. Like I said, I learned a lot about knives through you. You're the knife guy between the two of us. So. But hey, thanks a lot, bud. Man, comes in this nice little case. Merry birthday to me. It was kind of one of those in between birthday Christmas gifts, but hey, nice to have friends that care about you. All right, so let's get started on this review on the TAC 14 versus the Mossberg Shockwave. Let's get to the tail of the tape. Both of them are about 26 inches long, 26 and a quarter inches long. Both have 14 inch barrels. Remington, milled steel receiver. Mossberg, aluminum receiver. As far as I'm concerned, for me, advantage Remington. I love steel. And when you're shooting 12 even shotgun shells, you want a little bit more weight to absorb that recoil, handle the recoil better. I know I'm comparing 20 and 12, but I'd rather have the steel receiver for such a heavy. Which is why I only believe in, same reason why I only believe in the 5-inch all steel 1911s for the 45. Just makes a lot of sense. So big advantage to the Remington on that one. Another big advantage to the Remington, the standard Magpul MOE forend, as opposed to the standard old-time corncob forend. So, big advantage to the Remington on this one. 4 rounds of the 2+1, 5 rounds of the 2+1 in either gauge. Same thing over here. So, big advantage. Big advantage to the Mossberg on that one. I mean, you say one more round, well, it's 20% more if you look at it that way. At one more round, it gives you 20% more firepower. Now, you can get the extension for the Remington. And in fact, I think there's some models I've seen in the stores where they are actually coming in with the 1 round extension, especially when they have the arm brace version. But again, Remington, what are you doing? Why are you giving me one less round when Mossberg's giving me one more? This should be a standard 5 in each tube. You got space here, it's wasted space. Remington, give us one. Advantage, Mossberg. 2, I had to buy this for my Remington. The hand strap. To me, it should be standard. Mossberg comes with a standard hand strap. Advantage Mossberg on that one. I won't go give it a big advantage because I still was able to find one for this, and because of the Magpul MOE, installing this without using a drill was very simple actually. So that's why it's not a deal breaker to me. But good job on Mossberg on the 5 tube and the hand strap here. And another big advantage to Mossberg, the 2 swivel studs. Sling studs, so you can put it on a sling. These came standard with the Mossberg. Nothing on the Remington. And a regular cap on the Remington as well at the front. So I bought this in Cabela's. It was a Remington product. I didn't cost me much at all. I think I might spend it both for $12, but still, that was standard. I had to pay extra for this. So as far as standard features goes, Mossberg wins. The two sling mounts, the hand grip there, and +1. Those are big advantages to the Mossberg right there. And I'm a Remington guy. Well, if you think I'm bashing Remington, I've been using Remingtons for over 20 years. This is my first Mossberg, even though I shot plenty of them. The one big standard feature for Remington, the Magpul MOE. So Mossberg, if you're listening, you should be doing this with the standard handle. So let's see, we have 1-0 in favor of Mossberg with the +1 to tube. 2-0 on the sling attachments. 3-0 on the hand strap that came standard. Remington gets 1 for the forend, so that's 3-1. I like the steel receiver better than the aluminum receiver. 3-2 right there in favor of the Mossberg. Now, as far as the safety and everything, safety's down here on the Remington. It is up here on the Mossberg. To me, either one of these is not a deal breaker for me. Like I said, this has been my departmental weapon for over 20 years. I'm used to this. I can do this real easy right now, because I've been doing this so long. But on here on the Mossberg, I think it's actually better, for the simple reason is you can see it in plain view. So I like the safety better on the Mossberg, but this is not a deal breaker. It's not. Triggers are identical. There's not much any difference between the triggers. I think what about maybe if we're looking at a 3-pound trigger on each of them. It's not a big deal. That's a wash right there. I would almost call the safety a wash, but I do like the Mossberg one better. Now the action bar lock on the Remington is in front of the trigger guard. And again, not a big deal. I've been doing this forever. I'm very used to it, the Remington. But the Mossberg is back here, the back of the trigger guard. And I'm sorry, but that is just much easier. Even though I've done this forever with the Remington, and muscle memory serves me good. This right here, the back of the trigger, I think. Now I'm gonna say I like the action bar lock better in the back of the trigger than I do on the Remington. So that's to me that's another advantage for the Mossberg. A huge advantage for the Remington, breaking this down, is simpler than the Mossberg. And reassembling it, the Remington is way easier than the Mossberg. Now that the Mossberg is difficult, it really isn't. It is a pump shotgun, but to me, I think the Remington is just way easier. And considering I like spending a lot of time cleaning my guns, which is why I use XF7. It's a wipe on grease, wipe off grease, and put on again. To me, I don't want to spend a lot of time fiddling with annoying parts like the Mossberg. Again, it's not difficult, but it's just one of those things that just really, really, really irks me big time. Now the other advantage Mossberg has, it takes the mini shells. I think if you put in the mini shells, they pretty much will work in the Mossberg from other VOC. The Remingtons, you could put them in. They may work, they may not work. So that's another advantage for the Mossberg right there. And again, this is coming from a Remington 870 guy. So let me see. We have the mini shells. The sling attachments, +1 in the tube with the Mossberg. The standard grip. I like the safety better. And the action bar lock on the Mossberg. So that's 6 things I like about this. About the Mossberg. The Remington, I like the steel receiver better. I like the standard MOE foregrip better. That's 2 things. I like the options of installing other stuff here. That's a 3rd. And breaking it down and put it back together, that's 4 and 5. You know, 6 here, 1/2 dozen the other, pick and choose. Either way, you cannot go wrong with either one of these firearms. This has been almost every police cruiser in the United States, and I think this is still being used by the military, the 590, as well as the Benelli M4. So you have 2 firearms or shotguns, if you had the shoulder stock, with extensive, successful track records. I think the reason why the military uses the Mossberg is because they like the safety better here, from what I was told. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always open for information. But and like I said, I could put a light on this because that's a big advantage. You know, this is gonna be a home defense gun. You need a light. I'm sorry, you just need a light. So, like I said, I can compare all day what this gives you over this, and vice versa. You gotta pick what's important to you. Let's see. As far as installing the side saddle, let's see. What does that go to? Advantage. That's about even, really. Getting a side saddle on the Remington 870 is not a big deal. You just pop these pins out, put the long screws in there, line them up, and then screw it back in. Same thing with the Mossberg. You hit this, pull this pin out, replace that, unscrew that right there. Not a big deal. So, if I had to pick one, what would I choose? Well, listen, I'm going with the Remington 870 because, one, I've just been using it longer, so I know it better. You know, I've been using this in my department for over 20 years. It's been my home defense shotgun for over 20 years. I have trained way too many hours, put thousands upon thousands of rounds between this and my regular 870 tactical and my Woodstock also. I just know the shotgun better. So that's the only reason why I am picking this one over the Mossberg. If you want a Mossberg, no big deal, dude. You're not losing anything. It's just personal preference. I know it's better. But my ultimate shotgun would be have the steel receiver of the Remington with the safety and the action bar lock of the Mossberg. The standard sling attachments that came with the Mossberg, +1 and 2 with the Mossberg. The standard handle on the MOE, but it comes on the Remington. That would be it. The only thing I can think of is maybe put a Picatinny radio up here, but then again, why would you need one? These are point blank weapons. When you need to get rid of the enemy real fast and with authority, I don't need a Picatinny. I really don't need a red dot. I mean, this is for those range commandos that want to have fun and see how far. Okay, fine, but for as a home defense weapon or as a car truck gun, I don't really need this because, as far as I'm concerned, if I use it as a car truck gun, I'm looking to get away from trouble. I'm not engaging in a foreign invasion or a civil war. I'm looking to get out of trouble. I want a presence, and I just want to walk away with having to use this and be left alone. So, although I think a Picatinny would be fun on a weapon that's really designed for really 0 to 7 yards, you don't really need it. So, that is my take on the Remington TAC 14 versus Shockwave. Now the only thing I could talk about is the 12 gauge and 20 gauge debate. As far as birdshot goes, either one of these is good. Shooting birdshot on paper targets or bright orange clay pitching targets is lots of fun. It's not a lot of recoil. You can shoot all day and have a blast. No pun intended. Either one of these. And because it is easy to find both 12 and 20 gauge birdshot in bulk packs, especially if you go to Walmart, that's not a big deal either. What the big deal becomes is when you get to buckshot and slugs. It's a lot easier to find 12 gauge ammo in buckshot and in slugs than it is to find in 20 gauge. And as far as I'm concerned, I think the Mossberger is more accurate to buckshot in 20 by a little bit over the TAC 14, but I think that shooting slugs, low recoil slugs in 12 gauge is better than in the TAC 14 and 12 gauge than it is to shoot in the Mossberger with 2 3/4 and especially 3-inch magnums. Listen, I know for one thing, if I'm going to use a self-defense load, I know for me, of all the ones I've shot, I've shot a whole bunch, and I'm going to do some ammo videos this year on the channel with these shotguns as well as my shoulder stock ammo shotguns. Right now, for this 12 gauge low recoil Fiocchi buckshot and slugs suit this weapon great. For this, any birdshot will do. Remington 2 3/4 number 3 buckshot does this weapon very good. I'm still trying to find a slug that does this weapon good. I fired 3 different types. I fired the 3-inch magnums of Federal. Recoil, although I can handle it, hitting accurate with it is a challenge. The 2 3/4 slugs were better. They're actually better than the Fiocchi 2 3/4 slugs. So, again, take your pick. For me, to me, like I said, 6 here, 1/2 dozen of the other. But because I like keeping my ammo supply real simple, I'm not really sure how long I will keep the Mossberg in 20 gauge. I still got plenty of ammo for it left over still, which I'm gonna, if I do get rid of this, I'm gonna shoot all of it before I get rid of this, because I'm not giving away ammo. But because I like keeping all my ammo simple, all my handguns are pretty much 9mm, so I keep track of 9mm ammo. My shotguns up until this point was all 12 gauge. I have plenty of 12 gauge ammo. And another one is not a big deal, but it's just real annoying. And even for my ARs, 5.56, my AK 7.62, and my Tavor 5.56. I think the less ammo you have to keep track of, the better off you are. I don't know. I plan to keep this for an entire year before whether I'm going to keep it or not. I'm a Remington 870 guy, so the TAC 14 is definitely going to stay. Like I said, if you saw my last video, I believe everyone should have at least 2 shotguns, one like this, and one with a regular stock with an 18-inch barrel. So that's my take on the TAC 14 versus Shockwave. Let me know what you think. You're a winner either way you go. As far as the 12-20 gauge debate, you let me know what you think. This is my first rodeo with the 20 with owning a 20 gauge. I've shot plenty before, never bothered to own one. Own one now. I'm gonna give it a year and see what I think about it. All right, folks, let me know what you think. Protect your loved ones. If you don't do it, no one else will do it for you. Practice and train with your weapons, and we will see you next video. Take it easy, everyone.